Do a lengthier video today. It is first thing in the morning, so I'm still in my pajamas. My hair isn't done. We're just doing it early today because this is whenever I get a snippet of time, which is rare, that's when I try and film. So it is 8:20 in the morning and I'm literally maybe up an hour. And yeah, so just bear with me. I may have to pause this recording because of the kids. I have them settled with a cartoon right now. Mom shame if you want, but sometimes sticking them just with a cartoon, just so I can get breakfast and stuff like that done or stuff like this, I will do it. Anyway, this morning I weighed in and I lost 2.2 pounds this week, which makes a total this year of 49 pounds, which is crazy. One more pound and I've lost 50 pounds in 2018, and that is pretty awesome to me. I get a lot of questions of how do you start and how did you lose it and all this stuff. And I got a couple of direct messages on Instagram and a couple of comments like on Facebook and stuff, so I decided I'm going to answer some of those things today for you. First off, I'm not an expert. I am just a mom raising two kids, trying to get a little bit of life back into me throughout it. I have never reached my goal weight in my adult life, ever. I've gotten down. The weight that I'm at now, I have been at this weight before. And as much as I'm very proud to get here again, I'm still not where I always envisioned in my brain. So the kind of kicker for me was I'm done having kids, / I turned 30, and I'm like, if I don't do it now, and not that 30 is old, mind you, I have an issue with 30, just a little bit. Just for me personally, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of 30 as far as the number. Just me, but it kind of kicked me into gear to get back into it because I was doing my own thing. I'll start at the beginning. February 2018, I stepped on the scale and I weighed in at 223 pounds, which is the highest I've been in my adult life. I weighed more than that when I was like 15, but I lost it, and I never ever went over 200 after that. Like, my highest was always 200. The thing was, I had my two babies. I never gained weight in my pregnancy. I always lost. Like, I always laughed because when I was pregnant with Sam, my gut was like, woof, but I was so thin everywhere else because my kids, I feel like, well, Sam did at least, took everything from me. Everything that I ate, he just, like, it filled him because he was almost 9 pounds. So with Sam, I lost 35 pounds in that pregnancy just because of sickness and everything else. I did not have the best pregnancies. I had I read about, it's more common now it seems, but I was just sick from start to finish. No medication really helped. It was just horrible. Hence, one of the reasons why I'm not having any more, because going through it twice, I'm done. So, but when I stepped on that scale and saw the 223 pounds, I was like, yeah, you got to check yourself, honey, because if you don't do something now, you're going to get to a weight that you're never going to lose it. And it doesn't mean that if you're at a higher weight, you're not. This is me. I'm talking about solely me. I know that if I got to a higher weight, I would just give up. So I had to change my mindset. And that day, I wrote some things down, and I started very slowly. Meaning, cut out pop, drink more water, cut out the bad night snacks. I went into kind of this frenzy for the first little bit. And the first, 2 weeks, I think I lost 4 pounds or something. And it was really good, but I still wasn't happy with what I was doing. I'm discussing this because I want to show you where I've led to and what I've learned about this whole process. And then I decided to try keto because I kept seeing everybody with these high numbers and it got to my head. I lasted 4 days or a week or something. I don't even remember. It was in the month of March anyway. Beginning of April-ish. I don't remember exact times. I'm a mother, so forgive me. Tried that. Horrible. Would never do it. I like my carbs too much, and I was I literally was miserable. If you like carbs, I wouldn't suggest doing it, in the sense of, I don't feel, what I've learned is, if you're doing something that you are just miserable, it ain't gonna last. You're gonna cave, and you're gonna gain a ton of weight back, or you're gonna get back into old unhealthy habits, and you're just gonna, you're gonna think, you're gonna label everything as good and bad. And that's where I learned from that I like carbs, I want carbs, that low carb and keto is not gonna work for me. And it works for millions of people. And millions of people have been extremely successful on that. And that's amazing, because you need to have some freaking willpower to do that. I don't. I have willpower for other things. Exercise, I'm totally good with. Food is the tricky area for me. So, I had to reevaluate. I went back on Weight Watchers, not the new one. I don't like the new one. So, I went back to Points Plus, and I did do that for several months, was very successful. I don't like the new one because of this whole unlimited protein thing. Like, it just gets, I don't want to sit and eat 4 chicken breasts. And that's what seems like everybody was doing. And maybe I'm not educated enough, but I signed up for the plan and just didn't like it. I like my Points Plus, but what I have found is anybody who's done Weight Watchers always goes back to their original plan. Like, if there's people who started with Smart Points, they were with the new plan and they go back to their Smart Points, because that's what they were used to. I was used to the 2011, I believe it was, Points Plus. So I did that, and I was successful. I tried to go for walks 3 and 4 days a week, what so have you. And I did do this until August. My goal this year, when I started in February, I said I wanted to lose 30 pounds by the time I turned 30. And I think it was August 1st or 2nd when I weighed in, I did lose 30 pounds total. So I did lose, my birthday is September 13th, so I lost those 30 pounds before. And it was amazing. It was like a week of celebration, and I was on like this natural high of, I didn't know if I would ever do it, because I've set goals before like that, and it's never really worked, but it worked this time. So in August, I lost another 2 pounds, and I was kind of like, my motivation after a couple weeks kind of drooped down. I started seeing myself really negatively again, even after that loss, because our minds are the most, like, our mind kind of controls the whole thing, much more than our body does. You have to really have the best mindset, and sometimes that can be just friggin' hard. So, after that, I lost the 2 pounds in August. September came, and I decided I need a reboot. I needed to stop doing everything that I was doing. I sat at 191 pounds I was sitting at, and I just stopped for the month. We had a lot of stuff go on as far as, my son has autism. He had a few new behaviors going on, things where we were starting grade primary with him. We homeschool, and all these new things were happening. So I just kind of put it on pause, put it aside for that moment, and just focused on all of that first. Now, after a few weeks, of course, after that break, I only had 1 week where the scale went up a pound, and I decided, I didn't go back on the name plan or anything. I started to, as they say, intuitively eat. Like, I knew I was eating a lot more than I shouldn't have been. And I wasn't working out. Sorry, I'm just checking on them as I talk. So, flash forward to October 20th. October 20th, I just decided I'm going to weigh in. I'm going to start again. I was sick of Weight Watchers. That was part of it too. And I decided, because years ago I used the MyFitnessPal app, I decided to start using it again. So I downloaded it on the 19th, started on the 20th. I weighed in the 20th at 191. So my total loss from October 20th to now, which is November 30th, is 17 pounds, which is crazy because I set this goal that I wanted to lose 15 by New Year's, and I've surpassed it. Only by the 2, but like, you guys, I did not expect this. insanity when I weighed in. I had one big drop in the midst of it. I forget the couple weeks ago. It was like 4 pounds. I don't remember. If you go back in videos, you'll see. So what am I doing right now that is giving me these numbers? Here's the thing you need to remember. Every body is different. Every person themselves is different. And you need to do what you like and what works for you. I have several friends who do low carb and do intermittent fasting, and they have results, and they love it. I can't do that. It's not me. But then, sorry, like I said, I need to run back and forth and check on things and make sure what's going on, and they were fighting over a book, so I had to manage that situation and hop back to you. Anyway, where was I? Yes, I decided I wanted to, what am I doing right now? I started off with, I wanted to at least do, starting back October 20th, I'm like, I want to do activity at least 3 days a week. That's what I'm going to try and make happen. And I think I've done that at least every week, at least 3 times. I think there was only 1 week that I only did 1 or 2 days of activity. And I say activity because it can literally be anything. The thing that I've also learned is that you need to do stuff you like. If you're sitting there doing 25 crunches and you're just bored, working out is going to be miserable for you. It doesn't mean that I don't do the crunches and don't do stuff like that, but I try and do it in a way that makes it fun, if it can be fun, I guess. Because I do my walks, so I try and, this week, for example, I've kind of upped it a little bit as time goes. Every little week I feel like doing more. So I started off with doing 3 walks a week, sometimes 2. There was 1 week that I had 1 or 2, like I said, and it's kind of been the average the last couple of weeks. It has been at least, this week, for example, I went for a 50-minute walk on Sunday, but then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I did a Richard Simmons DVD, and he incorporates everything. I don't care what anybody says. He does cardio and strength training, and everything is kind of embodied in this workout. So you're not just you're getting your aerobics, but you're getting a bunch of other benefits as well. 1 second, I'm trying to get the DVD here for you. I purchased this. I've done Richard Simmons over the years. I love it. It's just a me thing. Not everybody does. I got the 30th anniversary one, so it has all 5 workouts. So I've been doing that. If you're wondering what workouts, I don't go to a gym. I go do stuff outside. When the weather gets better again, I'll go back to hiking, things like that. I don't like the gym personally. Lots of people do. I just like being on my own doing stuff. I don't want to be near anybody, and that sounds very antisocial, but it kind of is. I just want to do my stuff at home and then go for my walks. As far as eating, my calorie deficit because of my height and my weight right now is between 12 and 1,300. I do eat my exercise calories back for the most part. I'm not somebody who's going to eat 1,200 and then burn 200 and leave myself with a low number. I'm going to eat back up to that 1,200 at least. So that would be another thing too. People assume that you burn all these calories and then you don't. God forbid, like if you have a 900 calorie deficit left for the day, you should eat up to at least the 1,200, because below that is starvation mode, and I'm not aiming for that at all. So that's kind of the gist of everything. I want to see if I got all your questions. Yeah, I think that I did. But anyway, that's it from me. This has been a bit of a long video, but I wanted to explain to you pretty well how I've lost 49 pounds. So thank you for staying tuned or whatever. Go to my Facebook page, Chasing Balance with Alex, if you want to stay updated on the regular. And I shall see you again soon.